Please like the video and subscribe my channel to get updates. Also press bell icon to receive notifications of new uploads. Hello everyone, I Dr. Ajay Verma welcome you to Mech and Mess. In this video, we will be talking about one of the topics of engineering graphics, that is orthographic projection, which is one of the most important topic because 60 to 70% of the syllabus of engineering graphics, whether it is in private universities or in government ones, it's filled of orthographic projection only. Say projection of lines, projection of planes, projection of solids, this and that. So today we are talking about orthographic projection and its theory. So most of the time, let us first consider what is projection. Projection is nothing but to represent any object on a sheet of paper or on a screen of projection. Say for example, I am having this duster. So this is an object and I am projecting or representing this object on board. This may be considered as screen of projection, or I am drawing the contours of this object, representing contours of this object on a sheet of paper. So it may be termed as projection of this object on the sheet of paper or on the screen of projection. So this is projection. Now there are basically four methods of projection. Number one, orthographic projection. Second one, isometric projection. Third, oblique projection. And fourth, perspective projection. So basically these four methods are there, among which these three, isometric, oblique and perspective, are more or less a single view pictorial views, where in general all the three dimensions are visible in most of the cases, and these are single view projections. But in case of orthographic projection, it is a multi-view projection, means we have to represent the object with multiple views. Those multiple views are according to the viewing angles. Say for example, if somebody is looking from the front side of this object and drawing, then it is front view. When it is seeing from the top, it is top view. When it is seeing from the side, it is side view. We will be talking about later on, but before that, let us introduce all these four methods. We will talk about orthographic projection in this video. Isometric projections I have already covered up in my other videos. I will provide link of those videos in the description section of this video also, so that you can go through that. Oblique and perspective I am going to upload after orthographic projection. So let us talk about something about these three views. In isometric projection, the rays of light are parallel to each other and perpendicular to the screen of projection. And as I talked in my videos, isometric projection is nothing but a special case of orthographic projection, right? Second, oblique projection. In this case, this is also a pictorial view, three-dimensional view, but the rays of light are parallel to each other and they are striking on the screen or the sheet of paper with certain angle. That angle may be 30 degree or 45 degree, whatever it may be. In perspective projection, the objects are drawn whatever they are visible from a distance, from a certain angle. It's shown on the drawing sheets with that particular angle or with that particular shape and size of the object. Say if I am talking about this duster, a person who is sitting this side, a person who is sitting in front, and a person who is sitting left side of this object, he will see it from the different angles. So as per the position of the observer and as per the position of the object, as per the distance of the object from the observer and many more considerations, the object will be drawn. Means what in what manner it is visible, that we have to draw as it is without changing anything. So the best example of perspective drawing is maps, Google Earth. They are representing objects as per the distances. When we zoom the objects, they become larger one. When we change the angles, the different angles, they are visible in some different position and shapes are visible. So perspective is as it is, whatever is visible from a distance, from an angle, we have to draw that particular size and that particular shape of the object. In oblique and isometric, three-dimensional views are there. So we have already talked about the isometric projection in some other videos. The link is provided in this description section of this video also. And as far as oblique and perspective are concerned, I am going to upload videos of these topics also afterwards, orthographic projection and some more topics. Okay, so let us come to the orthographic projection. What is orthographic projection? Ortho means straight, as you might have gone through orthodontics, orthopedic and so on. So orthodontic is the science of straightening the teeth, orthopedic science of straightening the bones, etc. So similarly, ortho and graphic means to represent something with visual graphs or visual pictures, means mainly with the help of graphical forms. So ortho plus graphic means straight drawing. It means that the rays of light or the projectors are straightforward, they are parallel to each other and striking on the screen of projection at an angle of 90 degree. So the rays of light are perpendicular to the screen. This is what orthographic projection, and now as we already discussed, it's a multi-view projection. So we have to draw many projections, many views, so that the complete object can be visualized. So let us come to the description of orthographic projection. Now here is something called a plane system or reference plane system. Say here is a vertical plane and a horizontal plane like this. So the plane system is nothing but two planes are like this at an angle of 90 degree to each other. This angle is 90 degree. So this plane is called vertical plane and this is called horizontal plane. This vertical plane is also termed as frontal plane or FP and VP. This is horizontal plane HP, right? The line on which these two planes are intersecting, this line, it is called reference line or line of intersection of the reference planes. So these planes are called reference planes. This line is called reference line. So let us talk about some more things about this reference plane system. Generally, an object which is present in this system is called in the space or in the reference plane systems, right? There are four quadrants in that, as we have gone through in geometry, coordinate geometry. You might have gone through 0 to 90 is the first quadrant, 90 to 180 second quadrant, 180 to 270 third quadrant, 270 to 360 is the fourth quadrant. So these quadrants are according to the position of the observer. Say observer is this side, so this will be first, second, third and fourth quadrant. If the observer is looking from this side, so this will become first, this is second, third and fourth. That is why in case of reference plane system, we define the quadrants as per the position of the object. If the object is here, say it is above HP in front of VP like this, so the object is situating in this quadrant, first quadrant. Observer is from this side, means you may consider yourself as the observer and this is the object. So now this object is above HP and in front of VP. So in first quadrant the object is in between the vertical plane and the observer, right? So this is the first position. In second position, this is the position, the object is like this, means it is in this quadrant. So the object is behind VP, it is like this, and above HP, it's above HP and behind VP, right? Third quadrant like this, in this manner, right? So you can say like that, this is HP, this is HP, this is VP. So object is lying here below HP, behind VP, like this. And in the fourth quadrant, that is like this. So the object is in front of VP and below HP. So all these four quadrants, 1, 2, 3 and 4, as per the position of the object, we call them angles. Means first angle projection, second angle projection, third angle and fourth angle projection. So as we have discussed, the object may be in the first quadrant, second, third or fourth. As per HP and VP, we can define the object above, below, above HP, below HP, or in front of VP, behind VP. Okay, so above HP, in front of VP, first angle projection, first quadrant. Above HP, behind VP, second quadrant or second angle projection. Below HP, behind VP, third angle, and below HP, in front of VP, fourth angle projection. Now what will happen when we draw the projections? Say the observer is looking from this direction, right? In case of first angle projection, we assume that the planes are non-transparent. So what will happen? The projections are drawn on the planes and then we draw the drawings. In case of third angle projection, we assume that the planes are transparent, right? So we'll talk about this later on also. Let us first consider where the front view, top view and side views are to be drawn, right? So let us come to some more theory about orthographic projection. Now consider that this is an object in the first quadrant and the observer is looking from this side. What will happen? The rays of light coming out of the observer's eye, they are striking the contour of the object, and then if we extend them up to the planes, they are striking the planes and cutting it at some particular points. So right now I am reviewing this transparency marks. When we are considering that the planes are transparent, here we are considering that they are not transparent. So now rays of light will be striking here, here, and a shape is formed here. Say this one. From the front you can see this part only of this object, this pink color part. The L-shaped type object will be, or drawing will be formed here. These are called rays of light, or in other words, these are basically the projectors. And the drawing obtained on front view, it is called projection, right? So when we draw the drawing on the vertical plane, it is called front view or elevation. We call it front view or elevation. Now if we see this object from the top and draw the whatever is visible to you, so what is visible in top view? This part and this part. So when we draw this diagram, so you will get two rectangles here, one for this and another one for this one. So this is the top view. Again, these lines are termed as projectors, right? Now a practical problem is that this system is a perpendicular system, means a vertical plane is there and a horizontal plane is there, and we have drawn the two diagrams. Means this diagram has been drawn here this one on the front view and this one somewhere around here on the top view. So this is the top view we have drawn and this is the front view we have drawn. Now what we can, but our sheet of paper or screen of projections are not like that. Means there is nothing like 90-degree sheets are available there. So what we do? We rotate it with 90 degree. Generally the horizontal plane is rotated like this, so as to mark top view and front view like this, where these are the projectors. This is front view and this is top view. Okay, so what we do, we rotate this plane with 90 degree. The other thing we can also do, we can rotate the vertical plane like this so that it becomes a flat sheet or flat screen, so that front view and top view are visible. So whatever we have discussed here, this is for the first angle projection or the first quadrant, when the object is in the first quadrant. Now what happens in the second quadrant? When we talk about second quadrant, the situation is like this. That time we have to consider these planes as the transparent ones. So this type of situation will be there. Front view will be drawn backward, means this will be drawn by taking projectors backward to the vertical plane. So this will be the same. As far as this diagram top view is concerned, this will be drawn in here somewhere because the object is here. So considering that this is the same, so this diagram is same but like this. Now when we rotate it like this with the 90 degree, front view and top view, the two diagrams may overlap with each other. So what will happen, this top view and front view, both diagrams comes above XY line in case of second quadrant or second angle projection. In third angle projection, what will happen? This will be the top view as it is and the front view is like that. This is third angle projection. So front view will be below HP and after rotation of the top view, you will get top view above and the front view below. So this is the condition when like this. Okay, so top view will be above HP. In case of fourth quadrant, when we draw the two diagrams, the front view will be below and top view like this. After rotating it by 90 degree means this position, so the top view, front view and top view, this is top view, it's like that. So top view will be drawn on this plane. After rotation, these two diagrams are just below the XY line. Okay, so what will happen, again front view and top view are coinciding in the fourth quadrant. That is why we don't use second quadrant, we don't use fourth quadrant. Either we are using first angle projection or third angle projection. Now when to use first angle, when to use third angle, it depends on country to country. In India from 1991, first angle projection has been recommended by BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, and in most of the European and American countries they are following third angle projection. British countries, India, they are following first angle projection, and both can be used. Nothing different. We will be talking about the differences also, but as far as views are concerned, they will be similar. Just the positions of the view will be changed. Okay, so as far as India is concerned, we generally use first angle projection unless otherwise it is specified in the problem. Okay, so let us move further. Now we will be talking about side view. When we talk about side view, it's something like there will be another another plane like this. Third plane will be there if we are taking the left side view and we are looking from this direction. So whatever is visible in this diagram, say for example this part is visible and this part is also visible in the side view. So we are looking from this side, so this will be drawn here and it will be something like that. Two rectangles will be there and that will be drawn in the side view. And in the similar manner as we have done, this is something like that. These two are at an angle of 90 degree, right, like this. So after drawing we rotate it with the 90 degrees so that the side view means in line with the front view that time. So what we do, for top view we rotate like this, side view we rotate like this. So in this manner we can draw the three views. So as far as theory is concerned, this side view is generally called profile plane, and these planes, vertical plane and horizontal plane, are also called principal planes. Right? Now let us talk about some more things as far as these views are concerned. Right? We are looking from this side and drawing the side view. If we are looking from this side and drawing the view on a plane which may be here, that will be called as a right side view. So this is left side view and this is a right side view. Means observer has to decide it. If we are looking from the direction which is right to the observer, it is right side view. If we are looking from this direction, it is called left side view. So we have to draw both. Now as far as first angle and third angle are concerned, there are some differences between them. First difference, the object is above HP and in front of VP in case of first angle, while in case of third angle the object is behind VP and below HP, right? Second thing, in case of first angle projection we assume these planes to be non-transparent, while in case of third angle projection we assume these planes as transparent ones because we have to backtrack the diagram. Third thing, in case of first angle projection, right side view are always drawn to the left of the front view. Remember this. Why? Because after drawing this right side view on this plane which has been shown by the dotted lines, we rotate it like that. So where the diagram will go, it will go to the left side of the front view, while left side view are drawn to the right of the front view in case of first angle projection, while in case of third angle projection left side views are drawn to the left and right side view are drawn to the right side of the object. Okay, so this is all about the reference plane system or the space system for orthographic projection. We'll be talking about some notations now. As far as these diagrams are concerned, there are some fixed code of constructions which you have to follow. Whenever you are drawing front view, you have to take the notations like this. If, say for example, in the space there are A, B and C. 3 points are there, capital A, capital B and C. So in space we are denoting these points with the capital letters, right? For these 3 points, the respective points in the projections will be represented like this. So first one, for front view front view or elevation, we are using small letters with dashes, means A dash, B dash and C dash for A, B and C. For top view we are using small letters without dashes. So A, B, C that we can take, we have to take. Similarly for side view we take small letters with the subscripts A1, B1, C1 etc. And for auxiliary views we have to take A-1, B-1, C-1 and so on. right? So these are the standard practices. That notations we can't change. If some point is there in the space, say capital H, it must be shown with small h dash, h1, h dash 1 in these views. As far as auxiliary views are concerned, for auxiliary views also I have taken projections on auxiliary planes in few videos, right? You can go through them also, but it's a different part. But for that, notations are provided here. Now, as far as symbol of first angle projection or third angle projection is concerned, this is the symbol for first angle projection and this is the symbol for third angle projection. Basically, these are nothing but frustum of a cone. Means if a cone is cut like this, say this is a cone and it is cut like this, so what will be visible in the front? A trapezoidal shape like this in the front, and what is in the top? It will be shown like this, and this is the center line. So when we tilt it like that 90 degrees, so this will be the first angle projection symbol. If I reverse this, mean top view above XY line and front view below XY line, then it becomes third angle projection. So basically it's something like that. A frustum of a cone is like this and you are drawing the front view looking from this diagram, okay, and its top view or side view is drawn on this. So this circle visible to you, this is on like this. So front view will be here, two circles, one for this, second one for this in the side view, and when we rotate, this circle will be like here. So this is nothing but a frustum of a cone, and with which we have made some standard symbol there. Okay, now let us take one example and understand how to draw projections in first angle or third angle using the methods. Basically there are two methods, so we will be talking about them. So let us take one example here. Here is an isometric view of some engineering object. So what you need to do, first you have to find out this arrow with the capital X. It means that this arrow and capital X represent you that you have to draw front view from this direction, because you may be a little bit confused whether to draw this as the front view or this direction should be taken as the front view. So in most of the problems this X is provided to you. Even if it is not provided, then you can assume any one of the directions as front view, but remember you have to choose that direction in which maximum details of the object is provided. In this particular problem, both the directions are equally good, but this may be taken and this has to be taken because capital X is given here. So this is the direction of front view. As far as side view is concerned, that you have to decide according to the problem. If it is given left side view or right side view to be drawn, then it's okay. If it is not given, then you choose that side from where maximum details are visible. In this particular case, if you see from the left side, the details are visible to you, while in case of right hand side view, you don't have much details to draw. So choose left side as the side view, right? As far as here, you have to remember one thing, you have to leave some space accordingly for drawing the side view beside the front view, because left side view is going to be drawn on the right of the front view. If you take front view on this corner, then you will not be having space for right side view. So you should start either here or you have to keep some space for the side view. Similarly for the right side view, in case of first angle projection we are talking, so in case of right side view, you have to keep some space in the left of the front view so that the right side view will be drawn here. So as we talked, right side view goes to the left of the front view, left side view goes to the right of the front view. So let us start. There are two basic methods to draw the orthographic projections. One is the box method and another one is the center line method. So let us start with the box method first. So what is box method actually? What we do in orthographic projection, first of all we draw the XY line, that is the reference line. Then we can choose a common distance from the XY line for the bottom line of the object. You can take 5 mm or 10 mm, whatever you want to take, and draw a box for the front view taking maximum horizontal dimensions from here. What is the maximum dimension, horizontal dimension here? It is 60 mm. This is the maximum length in the horizontal direction. So you have to take 60 as the horizontal length of the box. And what is the maximum height of this figure? So you can see from here, this dimension is up to here, it is 30 mm. This is 30 here and this is 15 here, right? So it is 30 plus 15, that is 45. So you have to take a box equal to 60 mm by 45 mm. This is, say for example, 60 and 45. So draw a rectangle using these dimensions. Take maximum horizontal distance, maximum vertical distance. Similarly, you can draw a box in the top view also, right? So the length of the top view will be equal to the 60 mm. What will be the width? Because from top you are seeing this width, so here it is given as 40. So 40 by 60, a block will be in the top view. As far as side view is concerned, what happens? You have to consider another vertical line, say ZZ, which is representing the line of intersection of the profile plane with the vertical plane and horizontal plane. So this is horizontal plane, this is vertical plane, and the profile plane is somewhere around here, right? So when we rotate the profile plane like this, this line is represented by ZZ here. You can take this line anywhere, means at a suitable distance from front view and top view, right? Now how to project dimensions from the top view and front view in the side view? What you can do, there are three methods basically. One is you can take these dimensions here like this and then draw 45-degree angles on both these lines, means from here and here. So they will cut at these 2 points and then draw vertical lines. You can draw 2 horizontal lines from here. So the side view box will be generated here. This is the distance, maximum distance you can project horizontally here. For top view, you can take this line up to this ZZ line, then draw angle of 45-degree. Wherever these two lines are cutting, you can project vertically. This is first method. Second method says that you take this as center and radius equal to 1, this one, second this one. So again you will get these 2 points. And the third and the most easiest method is take a line at an angle of 45-degree here, means at the point where ZZ axis is cutting XY line, from this point draw a line at an angle of 45-degree and project these lines up to this 45-degree line, this point and this point, and then vertically upwards. So this is the easiest method, right? You can just take lines up to this line and project upward. So you are getting another box for the side view. Now what you need to do, you just have to cut in this box the respective distances, taking distances from this view. Say for example, for the front view, the bottommost line is 60 mm here. So this line may be darkened like this. So this is the bottommost line of the diagram. Now this height is 15 mm, so this is also 15 mm. So vertically draw the height here up to a distance of 15 mm. Say this is 15 mm and this is 15 mm. So you came here. Remember, when you are converting pictorial views into the orthographic projection, all the lines which are vertical here, they remain vertical in the front view, they don't change, and all the lines which are at an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal, they become horizontal in the front view, right? That is why this 60 mm line, which is at an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal, it became horizontal here. So we have come up to this point. Now you can see here, you have to go 30 mm more above here. This distance is actually 30 mm, right? So this is the highest point, 30 mm. So we reached here. This point is this one. Now you have to move horizontally 20 mm. Here it is given. So move 20 mm this side, so that you reach to this point. This is the point where we have reached this at this point. Now this is an inclined plane and the dimensions for this plane is not given. So we will be drawing this plane at last, right? Before drawing this plane, you have to mark these points. So this can be drawn. This point is 20 mm from this corner, means this corner, this corner and this corner are coinciding. So from here you move 20 mm towards this direction, so as to mark this point. This point is nothing but this point. Now you can join this point and this point, which are the tilting point, like this. So this is our front view. In front view you are seeing only this part. So hatched part has been drawn here. These lines either may be rubbed out or it should be kept as light as possible, because our diagram is this, not these lines, right? One more line, this line to be joined up to the, because this is a complete rectangle here visible to you, right? So this completes front view. As far as top view is concerned, again cut the required points. Now what is visible in the top? This part, and this part. So you can see here, this is a square, this is a rectangle, and this is something like L shape. So what you have to do, you have to drop the verticals from here. This is one point, so drop here. This is another point, drop here, right? What is the width of this rectangle? It is 20 mm, because this is 20, this is also 20, this is also 20. So what will happen, you take 20 mm from this direction and draw where this is the square of 20 by 20, this one, the top face. As far as this rectangle is concerned, it is available here, the inclined part, and this is the L shape, this one. So this is the L-shaped part of the diagram and the outline, right? So this completes this hatching. You need not to show, I am drawing it just to show what is there. Basically only these lines will be visible. This hatching need not to show, this is not. So this type of diagram will be there in the top view. When we talk about the side view, what you have to do, you have to project these dimensions from here and from here. So the dimensions are projected like this. So what you are seeing from the side, one is this rectangle, so complete this rectangle here. This is the lowermost rectangle. Second thing you are seeing is the inclined part, which is 20 mm wide. So this is 20 mm already we have marked. So this is the inclined part. So this completes the side view also. Front view, top view and side view. What you need to do, you have to draw front view first in most of the cases. Then most of the dimension you need to drop using the projectors. Horizontally you can project the heights from here in the side view, and width may be projected from this side. So generally in case of side view you need not to measure anything, just take the intersection points and side view will be generated. So these are the three views, right? Here if there is a cut or some parts which are not visible to you, say for example this duster, you are looking from the front, so you are seeing this part like this contour, but these lines, these cuts are not visible to you. These type of parts we show using the hidden lines, right? Say for example in this diagram, if here there would be a cut like this, say this is the cut, okay, so you have to show this line, these lines using the hidden line. You are looking from this side, say this is 10 mm, the depth is 10 mm, here also it is 10 mm. So what you have to do, you are looking from this direction, so these lines are not visible. This line and this line are coinciding with each other and this line is not visible to you. So what you do, from here to 10 mm you have to draw hidden lines like this in the front view only. In side view it will not be hidden lines, only the rectangles will be there, 3 rectangles will be there like this. One rectangle, second rectangle this one, and third rectangle this one, right? In top view the shape will be changed like this, 10 mm, 10 mm, 10 mm. So in this manner you have to check whatever is not visible, you have to show it using the hidden lines. Now before starting any orthographic projection problem, always try to draw all the 3 views looking here, freehand curves in your rough notebook, so that these shapes will be generated there. Now you have to just fill the dimensions, right? You need not to draw the complete diagram with scale, but just draw the freehand curves, front view, top view and side view, so that you just have to identify these dimensions only, and then you can generate the diagram. What happens in the center line method, rather than drawing the boxes, you always draw, or you always start with the, say for example you always start with a center line, means like this. This is the XY line, so here is the center line and this line is the center of the complete figure. So when you want to draw the front view, you take dimensions both the sides. This is the center line, so 30 mm this side, 30 mm this side. So what you do, you draw like this. You have taken 30 mm this side, 30 mm this side. Now and in this manner you always start the drawing, and 30 mm, 20 mm, then 20 mm here and this one, right? This method is in these type of diagrams where circles are not there, you always go with the box method. It's easier to you. While in case when there are circle or circular parts are there in the diagram, you go with the center line method, because that time you have to draw the circles and many more and then these type of things. So this is all about theory of orthographic projection and one example of that. In next videos we will be taking some more problems of orthographic projection. Thanks for watching the video. If you have liked it, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.